welcome to Dodo Biscuits.
Hi.
I'm Joseph Mendelia, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Dave and Dan. And Dave's challenging his inner 80s tonight with his Devo hat and his
Halloween
Miyagi-Do karate.
4 years, so.
And Dan's sporting his Ghostbusters, New York City Ghostbusters t-shirt.
Oh no, it's actually the actual firehouse.
Oh, that's the actual firehouse. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one that they actually they sell it.
And I am
at the evening for $15. All their things go to whatever profit they do. I think it's like they give it to a little charity near them.
Oh, actually, maybe I will stop by, take a visit.
Yeah, right. It's great business. And also, it's like they have the Halloween parade.
Throw them a link.
All right,
we could, our viewers could look and see and buy.
Yeah. Our first topic today is Alec Baldwin. So Alec Baldwin accidentally killed someone on the set of his movie Rust due to, there's various reports coming out, but it looked like the mishandling of a prop gun that misfired or something, and killed the cinematographer and injured the director. So,
apparently the prop handler was fired from a previous job for not properly securing the firearms in a proper way. I don't know the whole details, but
I've read multiple reports, so I haven't really found anything that was consistent. But basically how these accidents occur is they give you a gun. Whenever someone gives you any kind of gun, the lesson there should be to just check it yourself to make sure it's loaded or unloaded.
I have people who handle that. If the person's having a bad day, then people could get hurt. So that job is extremely important. And investigations are ongoing right now as of the date of this video. So I don't want to speculate too much. But the fact of the matter is there's still a lot being found out. So whether it was actually the prop handler's fault entirely or what happened, there's still a lot to learn about this.
It's typically a domino effect. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh no, I was gonna say I have a friend that actually his name is Spat. He does actually props and all that fun stuff that they usually do for A, B, and C. And he actually just put out a video. I'll send it to you, Joe. I'll send it to you, Dave. It basically it's line down says what you do, what the steps you go through in order to handle any kind of gun props when you're on set. And most of the time it's like, yeah, they want the whole thing, they want this, they want that. But he said sometimes there's an idiot that just likes to put something in there just to, like, in any case. But it's like it's always the responsibility of the actor to always make sure that like when they're like, it's the prop guy's responsibility to like make sure they check everything and that it's clean, everything's clean before they hand it to the next person. And then the actor is the one that's supposed to be the next one that checks the whole thing. So there's like so many reports, but he said it goes from prop to guy to the actor, and the actor has to make sure like he has to check it too. But at the same time, everybody's the gun safety. They like, as like what was it, Shoot 'em Up said, this is the only thing you need for safety. Like,
yeah, usually you need a licensed special effects technician on your set too, for those reasons, and they're supposed to check it. So what happened with Brandon Lee, because everyone keeps referencing that, was their licensed guy wasn't on the set that day because he cost a lot of money. And when you start cutting corners like that on safety, people get hurt.
They actually used a live round, but without gunpowder in it for a close-up shot of the gun. And so it still detonated the barrel enough to get the bullet case out of the casing.
That's
lodged in the barrel.
Yeah.
And then the squib or whatever the blank exploded the bullet out of the rest of the way out of the barrel. And it's there was another famous incident back in '84 with John Eric Hexum. What show was he on again? I forget what it was. He was doing, I'm trying to remember the name of the show. Anyway, he was playing Russian roulette with a blank, and that thing exploded right into his temple, and it was enough of a concussive force that it made him brain dead and killed him.
Yeah.
His girlfriend at the time was Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Elizabeth E.G. Daly.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Dottie from the movie, yeah.
Dottie from the movie.
I'm
She's
thinking
also
Miss
Tommy
Yvonne,
Pickles
yeah.
from
Oh, she's Tommy Pickles.
She's a lone
Yeah.
wolf.
She does a lot of stuff. I put it on your brother's comments, but yeah. So
Yeah,
it's not.
she
It's
does.
rare, but it's not unheard of that these things happen.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, like-
unfortunate when you're just making a silly movie. Judd Apatow said one time, he's like, I used to write these stunts, and one time I was watching them do the stunt. It was this guy on like a roof, and I was like, this guy might die because of something I wrote while I was sitting around in my underwear. So he's like, I try not to write
in the old
elaborate.
days, they used to shoot real live ammunition at the actors.
So he was like, his philosophy is he tries not to write elaborate stunts anymore because you know. My thing is, why don't they just use sound effects and digital effects now for stuff like that?
They are starting to.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really need a prop gun. You could just add it like this.
I said on someone's Facebook, you know, we have the technology to show Tom Hanks shaking hands with JFK, but we can't
Yeah.
make realistic looking guns in post.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there is a
There's little
degree of
extra photoshopping there. I know it's more complicated than that, but you know.
there is some fun with the realism, I suppose, as you make it as authentic as you can when you film it, and then you tweak it in post production. But something
I
like
get
this
that.
with people's safety, you don't screw around with something like that. That's the stuff where I'm okay with, do it digitally. It's about people's safety. It's not about,
Real,
Your
like,
weapon that's been disabled.
Yep.
Yeah.
They actually have, like I said, with my friend Spat, he has a whole thing that he shows. That he's like, there's guns that are not like you see the whole front of it does not work. The only thing you see, oh god, there goes my freaking, oh god,
The camera's
the
drunk.
thing that was, yeah, the thing that was holding my camera up was actually it's a thing of dental floss. So it literally just was like
Expense
I
spared.
moved. Oh yeah, exactly.
Going back to your original point, the guns are checked by the armorer, the first assistant director, and then given to the actor using them.
Yeah,
That's
there's
the
like
order.
the chain of command of checking the safety. So by the end, it's like there's a lot of people that seen it. So it's like literally like everybody's got their hands on it.
Yeah, but I'm definitely curious to see that video that you mentioned. So let's
Also-
Yeah, he
stay on
goes
top
into a
of it.
long thing.
Jensen
But yeah, no,
Ackles, this would have been, I guess, a big feature for him coming off of Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin's had a pretty extensive resume already. It's not like this is a big break.
Well, no, but
Probably
Jensen Ackles is known for his TV work, I suppose, more than his film work.
Well, he was in Glenn Ross, the most famous scene of the movie.
Jensen Ackles.
We talking about Alec Baldwin?
No, we're talking about Jensen Ackles, one of the
Oh, I
co-stars.
apologize. I'm sorry. I'll go back to bed.
Dave's been
Okay.
drinking. There's vodka in that mug.
Secret happy juices in here.
No, I understood when he
Mhm.
misunderstood me the first time I said it, but then I said it 3 other times, and he still kept insisting I was talking about Alec Baldwin.
Now my brain was preparing a response instead of listening, and that's an illness I should probably look into.
It was already set up for Alec Baldwin. He's like, I'm gonna get that guy.
Alec Baldwin, and then you say whatever, and
I mean, there's definitely a degree of guilt with that, even if you didn't load it or anything like that. You're just practicing something.
oh, he's in for a very bad time for a good long time. He's not gonna.
Um,
That's not gonna be something you forget.
Like it's just a tragic accident, but it's just not something you want to be just part of.
I mean, you
Anyway.
killed a person, you know,
Yeah.
even do not your fault. It's still
Yeah.
just something you're not gonna live through. You know, not gonna forget.
Yeah, it's kind of like what was it? This is not. It's relevant, but it's not relevant, I guess. And,
Our celebrities are killing us all. We have to stop them.
Yeah.
We'll be done. We'd be dead by the hands of celebrities before
All
we
right.
know.
They look to kill us. They're looking to kill us.
All right,
Moment.
next topic. Celebrities are dangerous. That's what we got from that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Uncharted movie trailer. So
I know
Uncharted.
Joe is not a big fan of the Uncharted series.
True, you
Same.
talked me into buying those games. I played them, but I don't like jumping all the time in video games.
Oh yeah, you're like a little hoppy hop on it, dangling through every little thing that could be held onto. And
It's like-
Yeah, and
Those
as you're
games bother
jumping,
me.
you're trying to shoot.
yeah.
Like,
Like you're hanging off the edge of a cliff, and then there's like 50 people shooting at you, and it's like, game, dude.
Yeah.
Come on,
How?
give me a break here.
So Uncharted kind of bothered me for that reason.
Yeah, you have to suspend your disbelief pretty far.
Not even that. I just don't like. It's not fun to keep jumping all the time like that. Like Mario Brothers.
They're great stories though, and I think this is the perfect medium for a movie. Only problem is that there's a lot of controversy over the choice of Sully amongst this household right here.
I actually, yes, Sully's supposed to be kind of older with gray hair.
He's an older, sophisticated, very just kind of cocksure gentleman.
Nathan Drake's supposed to be a little older too. So it's Mark Wahlberg as Sully, and it's Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake's fine, I think.
I think Tom Holland's a bit young for that part. Nathan Drake should be in his 30s.
He was young looking in the games,
or at least in his late 20s.
He was in his 30s. He was like a 30-year-old man.
And
I think Tom Holland at least looks a little bit like it. He's no Nathan Fillion, but it's
that was everybody's choice for.
I think they're going for a younger take on the.
They wanted Nathan Fillion to play him again, right?
Yep, they wanted him to be there the first.
To play Nathan Drake?
Yep, because he did. No, to play Nathan Drake, because originally Nathan Fillion made a full on what do you call it? Like fan made like movie, and it looked phenomenal.
I'll check that out.
Like it's another one. I'll find it. I'll send it to you guys, and then you'll put it in the description. Definitely go check it out. It's like it's kind of like the fan made animation for like the Legend of Zelda of Majora's Mask. Like that, if somebody made that into a full thing, it would have been fantastic. Yeah, there we go.
Really cool.
Yeah. If I was more technically advanced, I could have just flipped my screen to another thing.
But... All right, I can fix it.
Going to naughty time there.
It's
naughty pictures.
It just looks like Indiana.
Don't look.
The movie just kind of looks like Indiana Jones. You know, all these kind of adventure movies tend to mimic that.
Yeah, well.
There's definitely the nods to Indiana Jones and a little bit of Tomb Raider too in the Uncharted games, but they do have their own voice.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Like American Treasure, whatever, the Nicolas Cage one, Treasure.
National Treasure.
National
Treasure.
And
National Treasure 2. Book of Secrets.
Sierra with Matthew McConaughey. Or whatever it's called, like all those...
Sierra.
There's no shortage of adventure films.
It's just like I could just watch Indiana Jones. What are you showing me in a treasure hunt
Blue Ocean too?
That's different than Indiana Jones.
I think it's they're trying to ramp up the idea that it's like instead of just being like, oh, it's one guy against everybody, and then it's one guy, but he's just basically searching for the family aspect. He's looking for this. He always has somebody that's helping them. He's always
even the color schemes though, it's khakis all the time.
And they actually have Sam involved. I heard mentions of Sam Drake, which is the brother that was introduced in the fourth entry. The fourth and final entry, not including the spin-off.
With, the side note.
With ladies.
As I call it.
Sophia Taylor Ali is playing Chloe Fraser. I don't know if that's
Chloe Fraser was like the woman in the second game, and also the third she appeared.
Yeah. Well, she appears like randomly. It was like
Elsa was the girl I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Chloe's the wife. Spoiler alert.
All right.
Well,
Chloe is
the girl.
The girl they casted her is very good looking, so they should be proud of that choice.
Get my female characters mixed up.
Taddy Gabrielle playing Braddock.
I don't know who that is.
All right, maybe a new character.
I don't know either.
I like Mark Wahlberg. I like Tom Holland. I don't know if they were necessarily
I don't like Mark Wahlberg that much.
I don't know if they were necessarily cast correctly in this film, but I don't know if this is a film that anyone was demanding.
Mark Wahlberg to me is miscast. I'm sorry.
I like Tom Holland, but Tom Holland, he's trying to diversify, get out of the Spider-Man umbrella.
I guess so.
Because Peter Parker is, for some reason, Hollywood wants to make him a perpetual teenager, while well, Tom Holland, he wants to kind of grow up and get more mature roles, and he doesn't want to keep doing teen movies, which is kind of what Spider-Man keeps him stuck at.
I remember something.
Yes and no.
Elena.
Yes
I'm sorry. So Chloe is the other girl. Elena is the wife.
Sure.
Okay. Elena Fisher. Okay.
I just feel like this movie is probably going to underperform. Is my opinion.
Probably.
Video game movies on top of that always have a stigma against them.
How did Tomb Raider do? Did Tomb Raider do okay back in the day? I mean, there was 2 of them, I think, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 because I know. Then they made a new one that stayed more closer to the actual like video game, but it was like it was 2 minutes. It was too like jumpy. It was like they wanted to make her a strong female character, but how do you do that when like the 9/10 of the movie at the end, or like spoils again, they make her seem weak as hell, and it's like, why did you build her up to be this strong character to knock her down to a peg every single time you got to like this point, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, savior. It's like
Hollywood doesn't really know how to make strong female characters. There's very few. I think they've done it well. You could say Ripley is a strong female character.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Sigourney Weaver, she was like the key asset. If anybody played Ripley other than her, it actually would have taken away from that character. Right. Like they actually had
Sarah Connor also, believe it or not.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton.
From the first movie to the second movie, and again, James Cameron had his hand in that.
Mm-hmm. But what was it for? This is actually something I learned a couple of days ago, which I was shocked, and I didn't know this. When they were doing the last Alien Resurrection, right, where they were all doing stuff on the what do you call it? The basketball court, and that scene where it's like she throws the basketball behind her, and it goes like in. Basically, that was all not staged. She basically was like, I'm going to do something that's going to be really cool and just do it really fun.
That was their last take. She tried it a bunch of times and missed. And if you look in the background, one of the actors almost breaks character.
Because well, no, they broke character quite a few times because they were like, yes, like because she did it the first time. They said it was on the first take. She did it perfectly. But everybody was so surprised that she did it. They all broke character.
I didn't know that.
Oh my God. And then they had to do it over and over and over and over until nobody stopped. And everybody's sitting there going, you have to be kidding me. It's like I don't know, it's like watching behind like the behind the porn thing where it's
that's why you don't break character, because then you have to redo it and you might not get that moment again.
Exactly. You have everybody that's saying like I said, with the behind the porn, they were like, yeah, everybody's sitting there waiting for everything to go and get finished because we're all waiting for lunch. We don't care what your scene is.
All right.
And by the way, just to correct myself from before,
40 seconds.
So yeah, Chloe Fraser is in the movie, and then nothing about Nadine, or who's the other wife, Elena Fisher.
How many wives does he have?
He only has the one wife.
Quite a few.
One was a love interest, and one was an antagonist in the game.
Yeah, they're going for an Indiana Jones vibe, a new lover every film and stuff.
I thought it was James Bond.
Well, they got that.
Jones
he got that from James Bond.
Well, yeah, Jones only really had one girl, and then there was Willie.
Yeah, I was gonna say
in the past.
There was Willie. There was Karen Allen, and then there was
Karen Allen is the persistent one because she was in 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah, and then 2, and then and then there was no love interest in what was it, Last Crusade, because it was
Elsa was his
love interest. It was Elsa, but it wasn't she wasn't. But she was more or less. She had a way of like. She had something to gain from it. She was actually using him, and like whereas Millie and the original one, they had nothing to gain. They were just there because they actually like Indy.
Time's up, but But Elsa did. I thought Elsa did kind of care about Andy. It was just
She cared about the Grail.
she was a bit selfish too at the same time.
She was the villain. She was one of the villains.
I think someone disagrees with you. All
I
right.
concur.
Last topic. Lego has released the
Lego.
Home Alone set.
Lego's got to
What?
slow down a little bit.
You okay there, Dan?
Yeah, no, I saw something that was quite disturbing, so I'm just kind of like,
So Lego has a feature called Lego Ideas, where fans submit Lego ideas, and they go through a certain like voting process, and the more popular ones get made into toys. They've come out with a Friends Lego,
somebody's laying on the controller.
Seinfeld Lego, which I actually have in the background on the top shelf, if you guys can see it.
You gotta get off the controller.
That Spider-Man Lego set, I believe, is part of Lego Ideas. I'm not quite sure on that though. And Home Alone's the most recent release. It's $250.
Of course.
Clearly, they're really appealing to the adult fans and leaning into that, because $250 for a Lego set for a kid is rough.
I mean, Lego's gotta slow their roll a little bit with these $250 sets, and
plastic's expensive.
Yeah,
and the
I feel like it's becoming more about attacking that nostalgia for the Generation Xers and the millennials, rather than making toys for kids. I'm sure they still make the Lego sets for kids, but it's becoming more about like stupid collectibles now.
For years, they used to try to ignore their adult fan base that they
now they're embracing them more.
Now they're leaning in because they realize how much money they can get out of them. So they make these older sets that are still very kid friendly.
Will this set also be released in Duplo form?
I'm not sure.
I choke on things very easily.
They did,
and I put things in my mouth all the time.
I think they had a Duplo Back to the Future, because I have the Back to the Future
Back
Legos.
to the Future Duplo.
Well, no, those standard Legos.
I know they're not going to make Duplos.
You never know. This I was actually surprised what you get from the Home Alone set from the house is it's actually pretty robust. I was looking at the pictures, and I mean, it's a full-size kind of to scale house, quote unquote. They got all the rooms, they got the basement, they got a line running out to the tree house. They only have 3 minifigures with the set.
But only like the thieves and Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. And that's all you really need.
No Mr. and Mrs. McAllister.
Oh, there is a Mrs. McAllister and the old man with the shovel. I'm sorry.
I guess you could use the figure from the Lego Schitt's Creek and use that for Mrs. McAllister.
Is there a Lego Schitt's Creek?
There should be. No. That's the one that I would have bought.
No, they do have the mom, actually. I'm sorry. I found her. I'm looking through. So the mom's there with Harry and Marv and Kevin and the old man and the shovel. So, I mean, they got all the key players. They could use some John Candy, but...
John Candy was never in that house.
No.
They have to make the Uncle Buck Lego set.
John Candy, actually, was paid
It's him with a car.
He was paid scale for that appearance, for that cameo in the film.
Yeah, he was doing a favor.
He was doing a favor, and that movie blew up. It became one of the biggest movies in the world. I think he would have been better off trying to get some points at the back end.
No, John Candy,
he could have
had more than enough going on that he could have done a favor for his friend John Hughes and Catherine.
Yeah, exactly.
Catherine and John were very close, as a matter of fact, and because from SCTV, and John Hughes and John Candy were like inseparable in terms of quality films. So
I mean, but when you're in a movie that gets that momentous, that huge, and you only got a couple of grand to work on it, that does kind of sting sometimes, even if you are doing a favor for somebody. I would
John Candy's wasn't hurting for money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what did him in. You never know.
No, what did him in was that he was unhealthy, unfortunately.
Yep.
I thought it was Wagons East that did him
in. His health was declining for a while. I know Chris Farley was the one that basically had a whole bunch of stuff going on with his health, but it was more or less the drugs that did him in.
Sure.
No, I'm looking. It has a little Nero's pizza box there too. You could put on in there.
Yeah, the one plain cheese pizza. It's certainly it's a very elaborate set. I will be getting it and adding it to my collection, and then I won't be buying any more Legos after that. As I say every time I buy a Lego set.
I'm looking at these
There you go.
pictures. The one that came out, Super Mario Brothers one, was interesting. The Nintendo one, I should say, was interesting. But again, the price tag is like, unless you're a hardcore Lego
Price tag is
fan.
way too high.
Super Mario Brothers is a board game too, so it looks like a
Super Mario
fun-
Brothers is in everything.
but like this Lego Super Mario Brothers is a board game. So it
Yeah,
looks
but I
this
mean, like that.
fun-
It's not Super Mario Brothers. It was just Nintendo, the NES in general. Like
Oh,
a
that one.
reproduction
Yeah.
Oh, the NES
of
replica.
that.
I think the
And
one
that
set that
one-
I'm gonna get is gonna be the Ghostbuster, the new Ecto one, just in sheer fact. It's supposed to be like not this small. It's supposed to be bigger than that. So it's like, and it's over like 27,000 pieces or something like that. It's not like not.
You have the firehouse, right? Does with
Yep.
the new Ecto one going to fit in the firehouse?
Hell no.
No.
It even has
Absolutely
the mannequins from the scene where he did. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually tempted to
Thinking
buy
about
this.
it. Thinking
I'm not
about
going
it
to,
too.
but
I saw it. I'm like,
Yeah.
kind
if
of.
it was like $100, maybe. But
So
what
the
am I gonna
Lego,
Yeah, no.
the Lego Seinfeld is just his apartment, and it was
Yeah.
$80, but it has references to the Schnitzer Rye, the Beefarino, the Pole, the Vandalay
the whole
Industries
thing.
is on the computer.
The
I
bro.
gotta draw the line somewhere with my things that I buy. I mean, I can't.
Well, they're becoming like
Man's ear.
they're becoming like
Yeah.
Hummels. Yeah, the Man's Ear I think was referenced in there too, or the Bro.
Hummels are at least more portable.
The what was it? The with the friends, they have the two different ones. They have the one that's they have the Central Perk, and then they got the apartment, which I actually like. They
Mm.
got like the canoe. They got the turkey head. They got Janice. They got a couple that you're like, wait a minute, what the heck am I looking at here?
the
I
ones
mean,
that
it's
get
not like a
made.
good Christmas decoration.
It
Like
is.
just have this out for Christmas. Look at me trying to justify it now.
Ah,
Maybe I
You're
can
a-
buy it for this.
just in time for the holidays. Get that
I had a
that
Christmas
stuff.
vacation
Are
one.
you
no
that
values.
big? Are you that big of a Home Alone fan, Dave?
I like Christmas stuff.
You like-
During
I would
Christmas,
hold
during
out.
Christmas.
You know they had a Simpsons Lego sets. They had
Yeah,
the
I'm
Quickie
tired of
Mart.
this.
Yep. My brother has that.
Because Dave
It's-
was a huge Simpsons fan for a good 25 and a half years, maybe. I'm not sure when he actually gave up
Dang.
on them. But
15 years. After about like 2010, 11, I was like, okay, we're done. And I can't anymore. I
but the
can't.
Lego, you would have probably enjoyed the Lego
Simpsons did it.
'cause they
Simpsons
had-
did it.
They had the house
everything.
and the Quickie Mart, and you probably would have loved that a lot more.
I mean,
Yep.
it's cool and everything, but again, like I have to. People used to buy me Simpsons stuff all the time, and half of it just sat doing nothing because I don't have a Simpsons collection.
Well,
I have like maybe one or two things.
I mean,
It's
you're
not part
you're
of my
loving the Home Alone Lego set, but I would say
No, it's a
Simpsons
handsome
is
set. Don't get me
more up your
wrong.
alley.
I mean, the attention to detail it's very adorable, and it's like, wow, it looks really cool. It's just I can't justify
Yeah.
it. Trying to,
It's
There is
the
no
affordability is not justifiable.
No.
I also have the Lego Millennium Falcon big set.
Oh
too,
yeah,
but
I mean, Joe, you're a
might be
collector, so for you it would be worth it. So
yeah.
it's never really
Like
worth it. It's really just.
Well, you got the what was it? You got the the 3 sets for the Back to the Future.
that's cool.
don't
It's just one. It was just the car, but
It's
then
just
they
the
made
one?
this. They made a 1950s town that looked just like the Back to the Future.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
so I
they,
bought
didn't they
that.
make the clock tower.
It was a clock. It's right behind me. It's the green thing right there.
Ah,
But,
yes.
It looks like the clock tower, but it's
Ah.
just different enough to avoid copyright. So I think they did it.
Ah, well.
It skirts copyright like a fine knife. Yes, okay.
Liabilities and copyrights.
You know, if they made it is handsome. It's very delightful looking. And you know what? I'm curious to hear what people would say on the price tag because it's also very expensive.
For what they put in that's actually a pretty good price for Lego, believe it or not.
I understand. Especially when it
'cause I've
folds
seen-
out and it's interactive. And
I've seen
everything.
other Lego sets like that go for like $350. With
Oh,
I
that
would like to see a
1960s
reproduction
that
of the
size.
old 80s Lego town sets, whatever the Legoland sets.
reproductions. They don't usually do reproductions; they'll do redesigns.
Mhm.
They
Fine,
release.
whatever.
some kind of-
I used to have a catalog that had the Lego Land, and I was like, oh, I would love to have literally all of these. But
Alright.
then I got older, and video games just seemed more appealing.
And a little
My
more
innocence died that day.
easy to put away.
Yeah, they're easier to put away too. Exactly.
All right, so that's our show. So let's start off with you, Dan. What do you got going on this coming week?
Just other than the wife's birthday coming up, I have to do that. That's about it. And
Happy
then, oh, everybody wishes you a happy birthday.
Did you say the wife? You guys got married?
Not yet,
Still
but
fiancé.
we got
All right.
three. We got exactly 3 months, 25 days before the day happens. But yeah, no. The only thing I got going for me is that I might have a show on November 5th, Broadway Comedy Club, in the city. I think it's on 51st and Broadway. So I'm not 100% sure. It goes at 10:30. Also I got a bunch of shows that are going to come up soon. I got to talk to my friends. Mike Nicola has a bunch of shows. If you guys check out Governors or any of the Governors websites, they'll have a bunch of shows. Look for Mike. Basically, his shows are fantastic. Chris Williamson is also another name to look out for. And a bunch of the guys.
We want to hear about you, Dan.
Well, I love my. They're all my classmates, and I always want to promote them.
Bring them on the
But then
show. Bring them on the show.
Also, oh, absolutely! I'll send
10 or 20 viewers that'll be dying.
Yeah, exactly. All of us will make funny jokes and tell our stories and how much of a good job we did.
You can find me on Twitter at Dave TEEVEEGAMES. I'm on TikTok now for some reason. I think I got peer pressured into that. Same username if you want to find me there. As for future projects, I plan on diving into these sets of trading cards I got this weekend, so that's going to be keeping me busy for a while. Other than that, maybe a video? I don't know. I'm working on a Halloween game video, and I'll post that on my channel on YouTube.
Fighting stuff. And for me, November 6th, Retirement Disaster will be at the 1 Minute Film Fest at Outer Limits in Franklin Square. Additionally, I converted this book, Run Gunny Run, into a film, and there's supposed to be a read-through in November with just some random actors, no one specific for the part, for the author of the book. And depending on how that goes, I might be optioned to direct. Or
who's the author of Run Gunny Run?
It is Michael T. Curley. He is my friend's girlfriend's grandfather. So
wow. My friend's girlfriend's grandfather's barber's accountant.
That's a long list there.
Oh, good on you. Let's hope see how it turns out. What's is it a comedy or a tragedy?
It is about a Marine who runs the New York City Marathon in the late 80s.
Okay.
It is a work of fiction, not a true story.
And also, congratulations to me for making 2 Forrest Gump references in 1 episode.
Good job.
But good luck to that, and good luck to you too, Dan.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
Good luck to you.
That's our show. Do not subscribe because we don't care.
Reverse psychiatry.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I like to play with toys.